Well, after 45 games and a very, very long season, it all comes down to 90 minutes at Turf Moor. How are your nerves? Welcome back to Where Lions Walk. Matt Joy says it is happening. We've got Callum and Charlie back with us to preview the biggest game of Millwall's season and for many, many years as well. I've been chatting to some Burnley fans and I'm going to let you know their views on it in a second. But let's first of all, if it does or doesn't happen, Callum, we have got to applaud Alex Neil and this side for giving Millwall fans a season of, just joy after joy after joy of game. Are you, a stupid question, are you proud of what you've been watching? Is this a football you can actually talk to your mates about and say, do you know what, we are something again?
Yeah, definitely. I think since he's come in, he's done really well. He's done a phenomenal job, I must say. I mean, you come from, Harris leaving, everything being up in the air. And then, Alex Neil coming in, fans wasn't really sure whether it was the right move, whether it was the right man. But, he's done, obviously the CV speaks for itself. He's done, playoffs. He's won promotion from the league. Can he do it? Does he know enough about the club and the culture? And yeah, since he's come in, he's done a phenomenal job. We've played some very, very mixture of direct / possession-based football. We've definitely improved under him. But yeah, no. At the end of the day, you've got to give him his flowers. I think he's done a brilliant job. We're definitely playing better under him. And we're winning more games, which is always a positive, especially in the Championship as well.
Absolutely. Cheers for that. Right, stay tuned because we'll give you why I'm a little bit worried for Millwall this weekend. You've already beaten Burnley, Charlie, this season. You're the last team to beat them, for God's sake.
Yeah.
In November, they haven't lost since they visited the Den in that Wednesday rainy night back in November. There's some tweets. We'll talk about Amaku as well in a second. So stay with us for that one. Jamie says there's hope. Just go for it against Burnley, boys. Real 100% effort and a one-tip performance. If we come up short, we can say we've had a decent end to the season. Best points tally in a long time, surely. I mean, Charlie, fast forward to Friday night. Are you going to be able to sleep? Are you? How big is this? I mean, I'm not a Millwall fan. I've enjoyed the ride along with you, but just sum this up for your average. How big this is for your average Millwall fan?
Yeah, I think all of us are going to be a little bit tired on Saturday morning. It is a very nerve-wracking game because it is do or die again. And I mean, we've been in this position a couple of years ago where we had to win on the last day. So I think as Millwall fans, we all have that nerve because we know it can happen. We saw it happen. It is massive because it literally is. If we win, we're in it. But if we don't, we're not. So, and we've only got to do it against the best defence in the league. So it really is nerve-wracking.
You'd like to think, wouldn't you, that Burnley haven't got anything to play for, but when we spoke to the lads on the opposite Burnley podcast last night, there is a record which you may or may not be aware of, but Port Vale in 1953 and 54 set the record for the most clean sheets in any division. That was set at 30. Now this weekend they equaled that record with the victory at 5-0 at QPR. So on Saturday, they can smash this record, which has stood for 60, 70 odd years. Plus, they can also grab the title. And I don't know if you've seen any of the game against QPR, but they are not on the beach, I'm afraid, lads. They are going for the title. They're going for this record. And I do fear for you a little bit. But, Callum, this is a Millwall side that have stood up to some stern tests this season. So it's not going to be all Burnley, is it?
No, look, listen, I think I remember watching an interview with a few of the Burnley players on Sky on the weekend, and Josh Brownhill, who's the captain, he was just basically saying that they want to win both games, and who can blame them really? They want to win they want to win the league at the end of the day, plus get the most clean sheets in the league for God knows how long. So they're going to want to win it. So we've just got to put 100% in, try our hardest, try and win. I mean, we've done it already this season. We've beaten the likes of Leeds and Sheffield United away this season. So we can do it. It's just about producing on the day and not letting the nerves get the most of them. I think they just got to go out there with nothing to lose. It's you can see at the bottom of me. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. Yeah. Like we have to win, or we listen. At the end of the day, if we don't win, we've had a great season. But it's the hope that kills you. I think as a Mill fan, and me and Charlie, we've been brought up with Mill, and my dad has said to me, if you believe, it's not going to happen. But you've got to believe. But at the end of the day, Mill was Mill, and sometimes we do have the odd occasion where we do let games slip. I mean, I look at this season as a whole, and then I go, the Plymouth game away, we lost 5-1. That was probably a game looking back now that we should have probably won that game to be in with a shout. I think you look at the games back and you think, we could have won that. We could have won that game.
Well, look at that. Look at the opening game against Watford. How that went. Just a couple more points.
That's
the whole thing changes, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Look, as a neutral, I think it's been brilliant for the league, brilliant for everyone who puts this club down. As we've talked about all year, you've had a fair share of that this year with journalists and Premier League clubs sneering down at Millwall, so it would be absolutely brilliant if you manage to do it. Right, let's talk about goalkeepers. Though you're going to have James Trafford to beat, as you've already kind of mentioned, but you've got a little goal. Yeah, you've got your own goalkeeper on top form, George Evans. Charlie, was he man of the match against Swansea?
Yeah, I think what we saw in a difference to a week before was the defence had confidence in him, and that made him more confident. At the Blackburn game, I think it looked so shaky because it was a last-minute thing. It was the day before. I don't think they've ever seen him in 11v11 before. So, I understand why he looked so shaky in that game. He was probably feeling it as well. But he looked like he'd been in goal season on Saturday. He pulled off 2 great saves. Probably won us the game in that instance. So, it's a difficult one on Saturday as well because obviously I'm pretty sure Roberts is back from his injury. But I mean, I like to say if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good, really impressed. That was a game. As says at the bottom there, George Evans, man of the match. He made 4 or 5 big saves. Sparky says, Callum, get Sturge on a permanent deal right effing now. Agree?
Yeah, I do. I think he's been He's been injured, obviously, when he first came in and out of the squad. But since Joe Bryan has got injured, he's come in and done a phenomenal job. I think he's been him and Aziz. The last couple of games down that left-hand side have been real trouble for teams, and they're starting to build a nice little relationship on their left-hand side now. So, yeah, I would sign him if we had the opportunity to sign him from Chelsea. 100%. I think. Joe Bryan's getting on a bit now. So I think if we want a young, hungry left back that can go up and down and has got a bit of an attacking threat, I think Zach Sturge is your man to bring in next season on 1,000%.
Okay. There was a controversial tweet I saw, and I don't know if you agree with this one, Charlie, but I was going to bring it up. B says, I hate to say it, but I think Amarku's Millwall career is over. I would have liked to have seen Langstaff on instead. His hold-up play is a lot better, and he could have helped keepers up the pitch. Not keen on keeping Coburn either. There's a reason he isn't wanted at Middlesbrough. I think probably Mark is one of the players we've spoken about the most on here, certainly in recent months. And fans, I don't know. I see tweets which rate him highly, and then tweets like that say actually no, his all-round play is not as good as others. What's your view on it? Is his career over? Is that tweet suggests?
I don't see it as it being his career over, really. I mean, I know there was a lot of talk this summer window just gone about Amaka going out on loan, which I think now in hindsight, looking back at it, might have been a better shout this year, just because of he's been in and out of the team. Unfortunately, he's been unfortunate of injuries again this year, which obviously isn't promising. But look, I think he has these moments where you look at him and you think he is he has the potential to be a special player. But I think what lets him down is in the games where he's had the opportunity to start over this season, he hasn't really done much in them appearances. He does more when he comes off the bench against tired teams and when we're looking to win a game, I think he's your man. But I think sometimes his profile gets a bit confusing, especially in games like Saturday where we're looking to see out a win. Sometimes he does look like a one-trick pony where you just play it down the channel when he flicks it on, and it is a bit frustrating. But I personally don't think his career's over. I think he's definitely got a place in the squad. I think it obviously depends on where we are next season as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't think a loan would be a terrible shout, but I wouldn't want to see his career over. Definitely not.
Okay. Finally, then, before we move on from this game, what a time to score your first goal of the season for Sav, of course. Callum, and Davis says, get his contract sorted. The man knows what it takes to play for this football club. I didn't think we'd be seeing tweets like that at the start of the season, to be honest. Callum?
Yeah, I think George Saville, he's so. I think he's very good. He's just a typical Millwall player. You know, he gets stuck in every game. You know, really good tackles, sliding tackles, interceptions, defensive duels. You know, duels won. He's just He's so solid in the midfield for me. And him and Casper again on Saturday was so good. I'd definitely sign him on a contract. I don't know about. For me, I think it depends who you bring in the summer. I think if they bring in a couple of new signings in the midfield, I think, you know, maybe Sav would not play every game. I think he'd probably come off the bench in some games potentially. But, you know, Sav's getting on a bit now where, you know, if you play him every game, you know, we've seen this season where Sav's played every game and he's gotten a bit tired. I think he's more of like bring him off the bench for like the last half an hour. I think Alex Neil's done that in some games this season where he's brought him on for the last 30 minutes. But no, again, this season he's been phenomenal, but I would definitely keep him on. And I think he's a squad player next season. I think he probably will start, depending on who we get in, but he's definitely going to be a squad player next season. Sorry, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Brilliant. The players did their lap of honour, of course, with it being the final home game. It might not, of course. You might be back to the Den in the next week playing Sheffield United if all things go well this weekend. Touch of class from the club, of course, as well, which I thought was really nice. A really nice touch for Sarti to remember, which is, of course, how we started the season, wasn't it? With that awfully sad news. You'll have seen, Charlie, the club being called a little bit tin pot for the pitch invasion, which culminated in some Millwall players Millwall fans going up to Swansea players and asking for a selfie. I mean, what's all that about?
It happens every year. I think
Millwall fans on the last home game.
Yeah, it's like you get through day trippers there, just going on the pitch, taking selfies. It's kids messing around a lot of the time. It just happens every year. It's like a bit of a circus, really. You see, like, there'll be a couple who get carried away and booed off, and sometimes you see a little scuffle on the side. But it's Millwall when it always happens. It results in everyone booing and saying get off the pitch. But it happens every season. It's not that serious. It's not. It's nothing like we're not getting carried away.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Good luck against Burnley then this weekend. Because it is the final away game, we want to just first of all shout out any Millwall fan that's done all 22 this season. You've had some fair journeys, especially on midweek games as well. Fixtures have not been great to Millwall at all this season, so well done if you've managed any of those. I know you two have been to as many as you possibly can. But what's been the best Millwall away performance this season? You can include cup games here, of course, as well. Charlie, for you, that would be...
I'd say standout is probably... I'd say again, but it is the Leeds Cup game. I think that was a really good Millwall performance. I think every player was exceptional that game. That's why it sticks to mind. Like the Leon Roberts penalty saves. If I'd say an away trip that probably will go down the memory of Millwall fans, it would be the Portsmouth one where the lights went off.
Okay. God, right, Callum.
Yeah, great shout. That's a great shout, to be fair. Yeah, no, obviously the Leeds one is a great shout. The Portsmouth one was quite funny, actually, because obviously it got postponed and moved to another game. But I'd go Luton away, personally. I think, you know, that day, it's always really nice to go to Luton, Kenworth Road. And, I mean, what a finish I suppose I heard you two speaking last week about the Ivanovic volley. which was a brilliant finish. But yeah, no, that was definitely a great away day this season for sure.
Brilliant.
Hopefully, we can come on next week and say it was Burnley.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, right, brilliant. And of course, they've got a player who can't play against you, given the loan conditions as well. So that's one down. Brilliant. Right, and if you do win, perhaps Callum will straighten that picture behind him that's been bugging me for the last 38 episodes. Fingers crossed. Right, thank you very much for joining us this week.
I'll give it a shine for you as well, Mark.
Cheers, mate. All right, good luck against Burnley. Do it for Millwall. We'll be back here for the final episode of this podcast series next week. Join us for that. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the good vibes. And we'll see you in 7 days' time when Millwall might be in the bloody playoffs. I thought it's going to happen. See you next.